doubt, I think, because you don't know what you're going to get from these teams. But finally, we're getting this Harbor Viper from Loud, and we actually saw Team Liquid face NRG's Harbor Viper at Tokyo, and they did okay, but ended up losing on this specific map.
We'll see how they do here. It's been so highly anticipated. So many conversations around why move away from composition like this. We'll see what the defense can do.
What is this? What is this? They're pushing back through Garage after taking C.
But they've left Nat. And they have no idea he's here.
I mean, the mind games are going crazy right now. They're going around the world back towards A, from C to A.
What a good start already.
There's nobody there either.
Nat's not able to find any value. Les cleans him up.
They've given him time to reset here. Ospas is already back in time to spot this hit coming in.
Tui's is coming through as well. He has 2 cascades he can still play with, but they've lost the sight. Try to save those for retake utility. Spike goes down. Liquid in control.
And the thing is, they still have 2 cascades here to really deal with, and they also have that Viper orb on site. So while it looks like there's no util from Loud, there is plenty to cut up the space.
The second one went right over the first. You see the paranoia coming out from Liquid to try to buy some time. Redgar repositioning, playing up close. Nothing but a classic, nothing but damage found. But Loud on the counter punch. Get the pistol.
That was Kaunzine getting that while stunned, crouch walking all the way through. It was a good attempt from Yampi. But yeah, just giving way too much time there, taking too long to actually execute on that around the world strat, which I thought was quite nice. And then losing Nats as well.
1 enemy remaining.
Very difficult to get anything done in that situation after the fact. And you're already seeing the power of the Harbor Viper, how much sustainability you have when it comes to retakes.
I think you're also seeing, you alluded to this at the beginning of the first round, if this is what we're in for, if that's just the pistol and you've got cheeky strats like that that you haven't really seen before.
Yeah, we typically don't see stuff like that from Team Liquid. They're a lot more of a standard bread and butter team. See if it continues outside of the pistol. I don't expect it to.
I think Safe was able to fully grab that. Yeah, the orb is gone. He was able to grab it. Seemed like he was getting spammed through the smoke initially. Maybe dissuaded, but objective found. Repositioning, Sadak just narrowly keeps his life. Safe goes double dipping, manages to stay alive, but not much more.
A pretty risky peak for Sadak to continue to take, given that his Viper wall needs to stay up for that C-hold.
Shadows traveling.
A little bit of Killjoy utility towards B, and you're starting to see Loud congregate on that site. 3 here now facing it, and the cascade to boot.
I think Team Liquid is already displaying a very good understanding about how this composition plays and where you can start to take advantages and cause doubt in the head of Tui's, for example, who has to be really proactive with this Harbor util. Right there, breaking the alarm bot, breaking a molly as well.
30 seconds left.
That's conditioning that's going to last throughout the rest of the game.
And again, we see some little trickeration, if you will. Look at where Redgar is. Gets behind the smoke, gets crossed. They know he's there. Meanwhile, the rest of Liquid focused on B. And he's going to get back out. 13 seconds left, the spike planted. Where do they go from here? You see that paranoia. They're going to try to scale up behind it. But Soulcast dropped. Tui's on the swing. Yampi's making a run at this. 2 big kills, but numbers still in favor of Loud. You've got Les, who's going to be on the flank, and well, the flank was dealt with. He was the weaker of the options. Oh, Safe gets another with the Marshall. It's all into Tui's. The first is good, the second follows. A 3K for Loud.
That was a crazy round. So many duels happened until that 20-second mark when they finally hit that B site, and everybody was damaged up. For it to last until the entire spike duration as well is crazy. I think Safe did a fantastic job getting this round into a winnable spot, but ends up over-fighting to get Redgar some help. And that's going to hurt because you definitely thought there was an opportunity, but they do a lot of damage to Loud. So overall, should feel like a successful eco round from Liquid.
Yeah, 1000%. You see it on your screen. A Vandal for Les, a Guardian for Sadak, and that's it.
A little bit of a different Viper wall coming out here from Sadak on defense. Goes all the way in towards B rather than covering the front of Garage, but kind of does the same thing for C. This is because they have their Killjoy playing in front. trying to get all that information.
Really nice timing on the wall from 2E's too.
Yeah, you can tell they're really interested on denying that KJ util from going down. You saw Safe be really interested on trying to take down that turret. You saw on the eco round them breaking the util on beat.
I mean, even now, Safe is looking for that alarm bot. The ping is there. Sadok's going to be, once again, the first to try to keep them back from clearing that utility.
Oh, and Sadok does go down too, so that Viper wall's gone, and the alarm bot, that spreads less really, really thinly.
Yeah, he went down to Yampi too, in a position where Safe was clearing out the alarm bot. That angle's insane. I wonder.
That Viper wall's giving so much room for Safe to actually break that.
Yeah. Let's see if we take a look at it in the replay.
Look at the stack, though, from Loud. They're still making the right call. Despite losing all of that, Les is just re-peeking B right now, getting a lot of information.
Left.
Now that they hear the Trailblazer, there's a double stack up short.
That wall's going to give it a little bit of space for them to come out. Safe goes up top, but 2E's takes him right back down.
And look at this ball. This is crazy. How do you go through now?
Well,
No
I mean,
more flashes.
You have a little bit of space to play it, but they've invested the Seekers. There's the flash, and there's the pounce.
Down A.
Ducking in and out from front
10
and behind the
seconds
wall. Just a few seconds left now, and the spike is not in hand. The members of Liquid are
One
weak.
enemy remaining.
But Soulcast is making a run at it. Les is left alone. The flash is there. The second, but Les with the 3K. And Soulcast with a perhaps ill-advised peek.
He's fumbling his keyboard there. He pulled out the flash, pulled out his gun, pulled out his flash. I'm baffled by that decision. He also had 2 flashes while that wall I was talking about. I looked at Yampi's flashes and thought they had no way through. But it took so long for Soulcast to actually get involved there. And now that hurts because they did so much damage on that eco round. They should have had, 80% chance of winning that anti-bonus. Now they've allowed the streak from Loud to come through. Still a dangerous one though. Knives out for Safe. And there's Guardians bought up. This is a force up from Team Liquid right now.
3 pushing towards A and just 2 from the defensive side. Trying to keep them back. That flash not getting a ton of info.
A major risk for Liquid to go for this purchase. But you've seen them work with the low econ in the prior eco round that they had. This one, full force up, is not something Loud might be expecting. Maybe just the Safe knives.
Well, we didn't really touch on this. Aspas has an op. And there you see, I mean, you look at it on the minimap right now, you see how dynamic these harbor walls can be, but they're already ahead of it. Aspas is going to get challenged. Opshot misses. Fault line at his feet. He has to dash away. Paranoia is not going to help us. Safe has already gotten backside. He's already gotten down into hell, and he's hunting for more. It was just Kawanzin who was still on the site. How do you funnel back into this? I don't think a flood is an option. You still have an op in hand.
Yeah, if you want to flood, you need that Tui's Harbor to be up at this point.
That's just not the case. So Loud go fishing, maybe gifted a free one. But there's just no entry. There's no way through. Liquid have drawn a line from this site. And between the flashes, you see the mollies, you see the fault line. The dump of utility keeps Loud back.
I was surprised they stayed for as long as they did. They really wanted to do some econ damage here. Because Team Liquid has just found them a way back. Here comes Les, hold on. This is kind of a spammable wall. He's not going to go for anything. Just looking for somebody to overstay, overpush, something like that. But that risk from Team Liquid paying off in huge numbers.
I mean, that's a perfect scenario for them, really. They managed to not lose any weapons, get the spike down, win the round. That's perfect.
Yep. And Soulcast with 2 kills. I mean, redemption after that last round. 2 kills through the smoke.
Yep.
And the key ones, too. They needed to get those 2 players who got flashed by Redgar down on the site. If they didn't manage to do that, all of a sudden we have an entrenched position that Aspas can re-peek into.
Operator still in the hands of the Star for Loud. There's a little challenge, but not much more. Meanwhile, you look at the other side of the map, and Sadok has already taken so much space down C1. Redgar's there on the challenge, and he wins that duel out.
And that's 2 very storied and accomplished IGLs going after each other, whereas individually at Tokyo, both of them had some very rough performances. So to see them taking the duel at each other, it's very interesting.
I wonder how much here Liquid assumed that there's nothing else behind this push from Sadok. It seems like they're convinced in their ability to get through. Les is close by. Kawanzin is too. Safe pushing forward out onto the side by himself. The paranoia towards garage as Safe has gotten back sight. Cloud seemed to wait. You've got the reckoning to play around in the flash from up top. The dash out from Aspa still has an op in hand. How does he find any value? Kawanzin peeking from behind the walls. Redguard's already gotten 3. 2Es on the swing, on the kill for Redguard. Looking for the second. He's patient. He's calm with it.
Great movement there from 2Es. Now they're going to have to play this against the 2 players entrenched down low. This is such a tough spot.
There's a code for 2Es. He goes up top. Safe gets aggressive, tries to take the space. Aspa's dashing forward. Nat's on the trade.
Where's the defuse
But it's
bar?
just a delay. It's just bait. As 2Es sticks the defuse.
Where's the plant there, though? It's so far to the right. You almost have no choice there if you're Team Liquid.
And I wonder if that's why Safe went out. Because it seemed like the timing on his updraft to try to get an angle and vision on what's going on seemed a little bit off, and maybe that's why.
And the interesting part there is those pulses by the reckoning from 2Es were actually hitting his own teammates. Yeah, too close to the Team Liquid players. And that is we don't get that kind of insight from a coach on those replays very often, but
Nope.
Calm's not being in the state that he believes they should.
Concerning seeds for Liquid.
To me, that's a time that you need to just take a timeout.
Yeah. I mean, perhaps they do if this one goes sideways, too. Look at that wall from Kawanzin, bro. I mean, it's just the side going down a long.
Really good reclear.
It's 2Es, excuse me, but Les getting the kill onto Yampi. Went up a
Spike
little bit
down
too
mid.
far.
And they're starting to win their way as well with all this control that they've been doing a great job at.
Dude, that smoke is crazy. But Aspas goes up top, cleans up Redguard, the spike fully under control by Loud.
Just that A reclear allowed Sadak and Les to get in such deep positions. And 2Es as well with the Harbor util is making it really difficult for Team Liquid to punish anything. It's not often you give space to the Harbor Viper to actually go for extra control, but when you do, it's
30
a
seconds
dangerous
left.
prospect.
Yeah. You wonder here, given what we heard from Emil a few moments ago, given how this round has gone, given how the half has gone, you've got to suspect that there's a timeout on the horizon. Because that's a prime gaming flawless through for Loud, and that's 4 rounds up.
Someone they should be absolutely winning them. They took a big risk early in the half and it paid off, but not able to capitalize on that is when things get really, really tough to reconcile with. And still, Doug, no timeout called. And they're forcing up again.
The only thing I can think of is you go back to the opening of the half, and it seemed like they were hanging with Loud. It was just a couple of things going the wrong way, but since then, it has felt very different. But maybe this is where things change. You've got the Rolling Thunder, you have the ult for Redguard too, and it seems like they want to go towards A.
You can tell Loud wants to duel at A early on in this round to try to get some of the util out. And Sadak's coming over too, which is very odd to me, because I was expecting them to act like the strong side was on A and then end up leaving it so they could play retake, but it's full retake for C that they're intending.
Do they take any space? Yeah, you see it right there, that high tide. Just a little bit short, intended to cover the same space that the Viper wall had. But ultimately pops back up. Redguard doesn't take any space behind it.
Oh, I'd be very confused if I'm Team Liquid, not seeing anybody jump spot on this angle. There we go.
That's why. I mean, he went coast to coast, bro. Remember, Sadak was at A just a few moments ago.
Yep.
Redguard looking for his timing. Man, you can tell he wants to creep forward.
Breach ult coming as well from Yampi. They're going to go for a C split.
Yeah, and I don't think Loud are fully confident on where this hit is.
Off your feet!
It's just Sadak here by
He can
himself,
dodge
and he's
that.
going to get knocked up.
Let's absolutely just dodge that.
Oh my goodness, you're right.
And the wall is actually preventing those players from coming through.
Redguard's ahead. Redguard's ahead. He's gotten behind them. The first falls. The second does not. Again, the IGL duel this time going in favor of Sadak as he peeks behind Platt, tries to get a kill. 13 seconds left. The spike just now trying to make its way out.
He's got time here.
Soulcast is going to have to get so much value done. The flash doesn't hit. The bullets from 2Es does. That's the round.
And Aspas falling away as well. I was questioning the rotation from Sadak early in that, but the more I think about it, the more I think Sadak has a fantastic understanding of how Team Liquid is playing. Finally, we're going to get that timeout going. But you can tell he's being very aggressive, which is uncharacteristic. Sadak, you know, he doesn't stand on the super passive side, he doesn't stand on the very aggressive side, but this game he is very quick with those rotates. And I think what he was talking about with you know, facing potentially 4 series losses in a row, he said this game we felt a lot more prepared. We feel like we did our research a lot better for this team and their opponent. And I think you just saw evidence of that with all that rotating.
I think you can even, if I remember correctly, he said something about just feeling like they're smiling more, right? Like little things like that. How are you feeling going into this series? What kind of pressure do you have on your shoulders? Again, given the fact that they've lost 3 in a row, given that they're on the verge of exiting another international tournament without a single series win, it's just a drastic subversion of expectations relative to what we thought they were going to be. So for them, you come in a little bit looser, you come in a little bit more comfortable, and so far it's paying off.
I mean, of course they're more comfortable. They're playing Harbor Viper. Finally, man.
And finally, speaking of which, Liquid call a timeout. Down 5 rounds. We'll see what the changes are on the other side of this.
They're still forcing up here with no spike plan again. Like, this is getting concerning, man, especially out of a timeout. Like, they just don't care. And the funny part, too, is we've already seen evidence of Team Liquid being very good when they don't end up going for a buy like this, when they go for a little bit of a save round with just the Sheriffs.
Aspas has the op. Oh my goodness.
Dodge.
No way, bro. He's got this red like a book.
And they've already done so much damage to Nats to get him out of here.
Does Aspas get a shot? There's the knee. He does get the shot. It does not land, and Nats pushing forward, though cautiously.
I don't think Nats realized how close Aspas was. I think he maybe could have gone for a punish there, but opts not to.
The information gathering that Loud is managing to amass via the utility that they're using is just outrageous. They're just so methodical with it. Again,
both sides are really trying to do the same thing, right?
Sure.
Trying to defend the util. Team Liquid is just focused so hard on breaking it all. There's a TP up into Dark from Redguard. Forces everybody off site. But they have this KJ lockdown.
30 seconds left.
They might. No, Yampi doesn't have his aftershock. Nats does have mollies, but.
Les has a counter, though. And there it is. You're wondering if that was a cue for them to go off of. And they're almost overlapping one another.
But even if they're overlapping here, the attackers have to get off site.
Yeah.
Whereas you can run your way on. What are they doing, though?
They're pushing forward.
Is there gaps in Dark here? Yes.
There is. And yeah, one's been detained, but Tui's is still alive. 38 HP, though. He doesn't have very much to work with. Natch drops him. See one player down in hell. Sadak now. Reinforcements arriving. The op in the hand.
Oh.
Another rare miss. Sadak has gotten it to half, though. He's gotten it 3/4 of the way. There's no way in. Less with 4 and another for Loud.
Despite Aspas missing that shot, Les has got you. And Sadak with the full stick. Again, questionable from Liquid here. You're right, the counter lockdown is nice, but the only place that you can really fight against that defensive one is long. You have to fall so far back down short.
Talk about the roller coaster of emotions that we just saw from Emil. From yes, dude, that call worked, to head and hands once more.
And when your coach is going to start coming, struggling for answers as well, start to lose confidence in his own calls, then things are going to be dire here for Liquid as they're down 6 rounds on this defense.
The scene's tough, you see, for Loud. The scattering of utility from the Killjoy, from Les. You've got a little bit towards B. You've got some protecting the Raj. And Safe is going to try to challenge, or at least he's considering, tempted by what's on the other side.
Yampi just uses Aftershock to clear the KJ util, which he did get successfully, the alarm bot.
That nano's still there. And you're still going to have to get through the turret and garage, which has been spotted. They've also laid eyes on less. I don't think they've seen Aspas zone. Once again, you're seeing Loud take space down too long.
And this is the same story every round from Liquid, which it feels like you have to, but when it hasn't worked at all over these 9 rounds, you have to start questioning the commitment to the game plan here.
This is so interesting for Loud because if they lose control of C, they have retake tools, but they have a couple players on site. So do you choose to fight?
Oh, and they have no clue about Aspas. Again, this fake into C. They did this on the pistol round. A lot different.
Oh, this time it's getting real value. Tui's drops the Reckoning.
And pulling this out is super key.
That's huge. I mean, that kill out from Soulcast. Sada could have stopped the round with how little time was left. 1, maybe 2 kills seals it. But not the case. And now Loud have to figure out how you're going to retake into 3v5 where you don't have the Reckoning and where you have Aspas with the op.
And remember, actually, what Emil was talking about when we heard the replay of him saying it was a good call. They basically ran the same strat here. Break all the util, fake C a little bit, and then go back towards A. But the tool's much different here for Loud in terms of the retake.
Enemy kill.
See how aggressive Aspas is going to get here. He's got the op. You imagine you want to preserve it going into the next, although there is a good bit of money. But ultimately, the conversation doesn't matter. As it falls to the ground, we'll see if Liquid try to pick it up. Yeah, I believe Yumpy did. And if that's the case, we're going to see an attack side op for Liquid, which we haven't seen all map.
Left.
Great entry from Soulcast onto that side to Sadak.
It's really hard to stress the value of that kill. Again, time was so short.
Sadak has definitely been the target by Team Liquid frequently, and he's been losing his fights. The only time I remember was that one time in C where he was anchoring, getting the kill and falling behind his wall.
Remember, attack side off from the previous round that Aspas dropped in the hands of Safe now. And perhaps expecting aggression from B. Not the case so far. Meanwhile, Aspas still with one of his own.
Crazy part here is about the only player who actually is getting to see anybody at the beginning of these rounds is Aspas a lot of times. Team Liquid is getting denied. Finally, they might actually be able to challenge less in Garage, but as soon as he hears that Trailblazer, he's gone.
Just pop the blades. Les took a lot of damage, spammed through double doors there. I thought they were going to try to go with the Trailblazer, but it seems like Les did a good job of keeping him back.
To get that turret down, 50 seconds. Again, basically nobody spotted from either side.
Oh, that cascade is weird.
I've got your trail.
That cascade is so weird. They're going to drop Secret towards A, but they want it end B, and there's nobody here.
Good reaction from them. They spot the aggression close A, they push it back with the Seekers, and they instantly go into B where nothing went.
I even love that they didn't smoke either side initially, so Safe could take the duel. Then the smoke comes out from Redguard towards B lane, or C lane, excuse me, but they're going to try to get him behind it. The Seekers, the Trailblazer, you've got the Harbor Wall too, but perhaps a little bit too deep, because you're not expecting Safe this close, this tight, with the op. Sadak on the other side, and the shot misses, but Sadak doesn't. Spike ticking away as it's another couple of kills going in favor of Loud. He's gotten it to half, or at least he didn't. I thought he would. It's all falling under less than 2. He's trying to cause as many problems as possible, and boy, do they succeed.
Every time it feels like Liquid finds some success off their initial ideas, Loud's retakes come in to just shut everything down. This time, what I want to draw attention to is that high tide that actually segmented all the fights. They're able to isolate Safe front sight here, where he misses the shot. And then as well, look, all the players behind those wall right now are trying to spam the spike while one player is fighting in front.
Right.
And that's impossible to deal with when you have 4 players from Loud peeking front B main.
See what the buy is for Liquid. Again, it's forced. Stinger for Redgar.
I mean, outside of that second round, it doesn't feel like Liquid is saved ever in this game.
I don't think they have. Sadak again playing a tight angle. He has spotted one. They now know where he is. If they dump a lot of utility here, he could be in trouble, but Les is here to help. Man, and that's just enough. Look at that.
Team Liquid is having such trouble today against this Harbor Viper, and it's no surprise. Loud is the masters of this comp. That's why there were so many questions about why they dipped away from it on so many maps. Why they weren't favoring maps like Pearl, like Haven, where it looked impossible to get through for so long, and you're seeing again that same influence here. There's not been a single time Liquid is full sent on a site.
No, and this feels like this is going to be a very slow round once more. Yumpy just used his fault line just to check garage. And if that's the case, if they want to play around it for entry out onto the site, it's going to be a little bit before it comes back up. You've got the alarm bot out from Les, who's still playing towards B. Tui's
30 seconds
very
left.
close by, with still plenty of utility to work with. The Paranoia is going to head out towards C, but Cowanzine is able to draw a line in the sand once more. 3 bullets left, and that's all it takes. Not able to connect on the 4th, but Tui's trying to do what his teammate could not, and he does. Liquid feel like they're crumbling here, Bala.
I couldn't agree more, Doug. That dash by Safe, desperation. This to me feels very familiar from many games I've watched of Redgar's calling, where it just starts to stagnate, where it's the same idea, committing to the game plan, never changing. And we're in the final round of the half. And Team Liquid have called their final timeout of the game.
Opting to go without it the rest of the map.
Avoiding a 10-2 is definitely a good reason to do so. But I mean, this team needs a full reset right now. And I wouldn't say this is, you know, the same performance that we saw on the debut stage for them back at Lock-In, where everybody stocks dropped dramatically for this Team Liquid squad. And I respect, honestly, I do respect the commitment to what is technically an okay game plan against the Harbor Viper on this attack side to try to break down the util, to try to make it really uncertain on which site they're going to hit. But the timings that they're getting, the execution, it's just not fast enough. It's always coming with these 20-second hits. And in that last round, too, they're even going into the KJ util without breaking it.
Desperation in the Team Liquid camp on the other side of this timeout again, just trying to find yourself a 9-3 half. We'll see if they can pull it off. They don't have any ults that they can combine or anything like that either, Bala. It's just the guns that they have. Redgar's got a Spectre, 2 Bulldogs, a Guardian for Yumpy. Meanwhile, for Loud, you have comfort for days. Via ults, via the weaponry that they have.
It's the same thing again. Just listening to where it is, and Cowanzine's already, I think maybe he might have spotted a gun barrel through that high tide that he gets the dink off on.
Yeah, maybe.
But either way, it's still such good awareness of what Team Liquid has been doing every round.
Yeah.
It's been every round.
And at this point, you've grown to expect it. I mean, Liquid have done such a good job of meticulously dissecting the utility that Loud put before them, but the problem is when you get to the final cut, the one that matters, the scout was blunted. There's nothing else there. They're going to drop the Seekers, and it seems like they want to go fast towards C. The Paranoia right into the lap of Sadak. Can he reposition and stay alive? He's gotten onto the Molly. Redgar's taking so much damage, 31 HP.
30 seconds left.
And that flash from on high, the peek out from Sadak, nothing found. Liquid have not gotten backside yet. They're trying to stay forward. Sadak gets 2. That's the spike. It's another disaster for Liquid. Everything falling to pieces, and be it in the face of Nat's damnedest. He cannot do a thing. A 10-2 half for Loud, and complete obliteration.
To end on that note for the half is incredibly sour for Team Liquid. I mean, it's just horrible, really. Redgar's TPing onto a Molly. It's like Loud expected it, but I don't know how you can predict that.
No. And they're not just a page ahead, they're reading the book that Liquid haven't even opened yet. You see the reaction on Emil's face. The scenes do not look good. Mimi, what do you think? Is there a Liquid comeback, or is this done?
It's over.
It's going to be really difficult for Liquid to come back. A brutal half, 10-2. And Sean, you've been asking one thing of this team, of Loud, for so long. Play Harbor Viper, and they've done it.
We're so back. We're so back, Valley. They got the Harbor Viper, and it looked flawless. They stopped everything that Liquid did. The retakes were insane. And look at this. I mean, this opening bonus. Look at the wall Tui's throws. Completely flusters the hit from Liquid, and once save falls and that first blood goes Loud's way, check out the Seekers coming in and the flash to Poot. This is just such insane teamwork coming out of Loud.
They play around that wall, yeah. They all hold behind it, wait for the flash to regen, pop through the Seekers, and all fight together. It's literally perfect. And also the form. The form of these players. Les is hitting every shot. Cowan Zine is cheating, I think. Like, these guys are playing incredible, man. How are they going to lose? I don't know. 10-2, it's not happening.
It seems impossible. And these retakes, we were talking a lot about it, but Liquid was actually doing good mid-rounds to get these sites. It's just constantly these retakes that Loud are winning. And a big part of that was Les. Sean, he was sublime this game.
He was doing what we saw him do all VCT Americas, which is take these individual duels across the map. And man, his first bullet accuracy with the Vandal, he has to be so high. He has to have such a high headshot percentage right now. It's just he's just playing so well.
And Sean, not only his aim, but he's giving no free map control. I'm watching him hold down Garage, eat up all the util like he's Chamber, and then run away. It's causing so much pressure for Liquid, and they have to deal with him first.
10-2 here, Team Liquid on the ropes in map number 1. It's going to have to be a pistol round to try and come back into this one, but even that is going to be difficult. We'll find out if Loud can close as we head back to the casters. Doug and Balla for the second half.
Thank you so much, Mimi. Yeah, the pistol just feels like a drop in an otherwise ocean of momentum that Liquid need in order to get back into this, because down 10-2, you're going to the defensive side now where you'd expect to have a little bit more advantage on the other side, Balla.
Yeah, remember, they did come in with some very creative pistol round on that first half.
Yeah.
Let's see if they can do the same thing. Already using the stun, though. I expect, especially against this wall that they see, to layer those two up.
Dude, they just paranoid as well. They just paranoid, convinced that there was going to be a fight towards A main. It just, again,
Loud's already here. They already covered everything.
Yeah. Maybe they can equalize via the guns, though. Maybe that's the difference maker, but they didn't expect less, not in a position like that. And look at where Loud are right now. They're not even concerned about protecting the spike. They want to take the fight to Liquid. They're going for the jugular. Can they put them away?
Your fault.
They've dealt with what's happening in spawn, but two slip behind them.
It's quite perfect here from Loud, everything considered. Nothing left to chance. I mean, other than spamming 4 versus 2 through the smoke, but they didn't even get half at this point, so now it's just going to look for orbs potentially and not even going to find any.
Jugular found in a very aggressive, in-your-face manner.
Yep.
Going to take the fight into spawn, knowing where Loud was pushing.
That's the kill shot, man.
Yep.
There's not much more to say. I mean, Loud, I love what the desk was highlighting in terms of their beautiful defensive side. And again, can't stress this enough. Where was this at Tokyo? Where was this in the first series that they played as well against DRX?
Well, and I think you can ask the inverse too. Where's the Liquid that we saw at the beginning?
Yeah.
They look way better than this. Just a bit lost here. Just Redgar on the site. Nats is close by. And they have bought in a little bit here. It's a stinger in the hands of the IGL. Just like that, the first falls, the second joins.
Still 3v3. I mean, we talked a lot about how they're so dangerous in these positions. And remember the eco in that first half. They really made Loud work for it.
And they seem to have done a bit of the same here. Yampi upgrading to a Phantom. A prized possession at that. Seen tucked at Logs. He's peeking ahead of it, and Kamanzine drops him.
Yampi taking a fight there while Soulcast is in the Trailblazer, and Safe is controlling the flank so they can't come out, but it's a full 1v1. Good attempt on the fake flash, but ultimately the Sheriffs in this eco, this force up full from Team Liquid fizzles out.
Spike planted.
I mean, it needed one. You don't feel like Liquid had much of a choice in a situation like this, right? You got to gamble a little bit and see how the chips fall. But unfortunately, it's been a bit of the same of what we've been talking about all map, just all Loud all the time.
I mean, I will say, it feels like in terms of force buys, in terms of taking these extra risks with their economy, they've been doing it all game.
Yeah, sure.
There's only one single eco round that they took, despite the scoreline. I mean, they had the loss bonus the entire time.
Wait, Bro, Loud have 2 watch parties going on right now. I just realized. That's sick.
One's on the beach, one's on the inside.
They have as
They're
many
having fun, man.
They have as many watch parties as Liquid have rounds right now. I'm sorry to the Liquid fans. I had to. My bad. A little levity in an otherwise dire situation, but Safe might be able to swing this thing back. The Guardian finding the opener onto Aspas.
And Aspas actually wanted to go up like a Durka dive into that cove up on top of site. That's definitely something new that I haven't seen Loud go for. A way to mix it up. Outside of the very standard, tough to mix up Harbor Viper plays.
More clean
Spike
shots up from
down
Safe.
It's really got them an advantage here.
3 rifles left for the attacking side. The Spike still in tow.
Kawanzina and Les still up, though. Those guys are the guys who have been absolutely dominating in perfect form, it feels like, in this series so far.
And remember, Safe, who's really the only real reason Liquid are in this position right now, is 5 HP.
Terminated.
He's got 0 now. A 3v3 for the rest
This
of the round.
position from Red Bar is really good, but doesn't find anything.
Player standing.
Nats
30
isn't going to
seconds
find
left.
anything either, as Kawanzin just single-handedly cracked the side open.
If Nats was there a second earlier, that would have been a
Spike planted.
nasty crossfire.
Sure.
With Redcar on the off angle as well. Not when you expect. You don't expect somebody to play default as the defense.
Yeah, Yampi's going to have to 1v3 his way through this to keep the map alive with the Spike already planted.
Remember, Team Liquid was advantaged in this round. They really could have extended this a little bit, and they won't.
And it's making things harder, and that's just not going to be the case, man.
Win.
Loud from beginning to end, just destroy Liquid.
What in the world was that? I'll tell you what it was. Harbor Viper by Loud again.
Yeah.
Just crazy. Domination against Team Liquid there, and Team Liquid, they need to come up with answers, solutions fast for this game.
We'll see if they can do it on the other side of this break. We'll be right back.